So if you've spent any amount of time here on this VIP Financial Ed channel, then you know a little something about your FICO credit scores and why they're so important when it comes to your credit and how you can use them to get access to debt weapons and do incredible things like diversifying income and paying off your debt very quickly and all these things that we all love. But were you aware that there are big changes for FICO that are supposedly coming in 2019? And these are changes that may or may not have a major impact on your financial livelihood. So I want to talk about that in today's video. I want to deep dive into the upcoming modifications being made to the almighty FICO credit score and how you can go about preparing yourself for them. Hey guys, welcome back to the VIP Financial Ed channel. It's your boy Matthew here talking about how to go further, faster financially. Before we dive directly into the meat of today's conversation, I just want to warn you guys, there is some tremendous content coming out on the channel before the end of the year. So make sure you're a subscriber. When I say there's tremendous content coming out, I literally mean we have the biggest content that we've ever planned for coming to this channel, stuff you've never before seen. So make sure you not only smash that subscribe button, but hit the bell so that you are notified every time new videos are uploaded here. Now, for decades, the Fair Isaac Corporation, or FICO Credit Score, has been the score that is a tool used by lenders. 90% of the biggest lenders and banks supposedly use FICO in order to gauge the creditworthiness of individuals like you looking for various consumer loans. These are credit cards, mortgages, any other financial product, and not just consumer related, but also business related too. Most of those you're going to have to personally guarantee unless you're making a lot of money every single year. So this is obviously something that they do in order to directly understand how much of a risk you are as a borrower. And as you may already know also, the FICO score is a 3-digit number, and it's based on a scale that ranges from 300 up to 850. Now, what goes into the calculation of your FICO score is a whole mixture of factors that we're going to talk in detail about in another video that we're dropping this week. So be on the lookout for that. We've talked about it before, but I want to make sure that you guys are crystal clear on exactly what you should be focusing on when it comes to your personal credit. Now, historically, what has largely been excluded from FICO's credit scoring algorithm is one of the most commonly used financial instruments throughout the country, and in my opinion, one of the most financially worthless resources, which is the plain old checking account. Now, up until now, the only way to arrive at a meaningful FICO credit score has been to use reports from lenders and other creditors that have had a firsthand experience with you as a borrower. Now, every month, lenders and creditors are going to report to the bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, with various data that's going to be related to how consistently you're making your payments. And it also will talk a little bit about the age of your credit accounts. Any changes that are made, like closing an old account or even opening new accounts, are going to be things that are reported usually on a monthly basis to the credit bureaus. As of 2019, the FICO score is going to have its own new counterpart, the Ultra FICO Score. Ooh, exciting, right? Not really. According to the Fair Isaac Corporation, the Ultra FICO Score is going to be available for lenders as well. And they're going to be able to use this at the request of borrowers. So you can actually specifically request that a lender particularly look at this information if you want your checking, savings, and money market accounts evaluated as well as indicators of your credit worthiness. How is this Ultra FICO score going to be calculated? Well, there are going to be 3 chief factors that are going to make up the Ultra FICO score. The first is the amount of money that you have in your checking, savings, or money market accounts. The second is going to be how long these accounts have been in good standing. And finally, how recently, if ever at all, these accounts have been overdrawn. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, a recent article that they published, checking accounts with at least $400 that haven't been overdrawn for at least 4 months are going to serve to boost otherwise poor or what they call subprime credit scores. And usually those are scores that are below a 650. Now, Ultra FICO is also likely going to be a boon for those with credit histories that are either thin or non-existent. So we call these shallow credit scores here on this channel. And some people don't have any credit at all. Now, in short, Ultra FICO stands to boost the perceived credit worthiness of these borrowers that might have had an otherwise difficult time finding lenders that want to work with them and lend them money. So does that mean that those with poor or even no credit should just simply rejoice at this point and plan on tapping into this vast new sea of available debt weapons come 2019? Absolutely not. In fact, I think it'll be quite different than that. While Ultra FICO might indeed give lenders a more comprehensive picture of how an individual manages their money, it's not going to immediately qualify borrowers for massive lines of credit or for hefty personal or business loans. By their very nature, banks and lending institutions are extremely wary of risk. That's their entire role. And they're likely going to be continuing to make their approval decisions based on data that's worked well for them till now. And they've made a lot of adjustments since the last recession that has done a good job of protecting them. And this means that the Ultra FICO Score isn't necessarily going to be replacing the traditional means of establishing credit worthiness with the banks. I personally think that it's going to give lenders just simply another window into the financial lives of their borrowers, and that may or may not work to your advantage. For example, if you're somebody who is sure to pay your credit card bills on time every month, but you might also not be as disciplined when it comes to overdrawing checking accounts, the new Ultra FICO Score could actually reveal more about you to a lender than you care for them to see. However, if you're a young adult who's just starting out in the world of consumer credit, and you have an outstanding history of keeping at least a few $100s of cash in the bank, then you could suddenly become a more attractive borrower come 2019. So it can work both sides for sure. In my personal opinion and experience, I don't think that this change will make much of a difference, and certainly a very little, if any, noticeable difference at all to most people. These changes are going to actually come at a time where the United States Consumer Finance Barometer is considered quite healthy. Unemployment is obviously very low. Americans are saving more of what they're earning right now. Average FICO scores in the country are as high as they've been since 2005. So even though thousands of would-be borrowers actually might stand to gain a lot with the institution of this new Ultra FICO Score, those with severe financial strikes about them, like unresolved collection accounts being a good example, or recent bankruptcies being an even worse example, or account write-offs, or any other financial skeletons that you might have collecting dust there in your closet, those are going to still be held against you, and you will be accountable for those as banks are making financial underwriting decisions. Now that you know what's coming down the pike in 2019, I'm curious, what's your opinion of the new Ultra FICO Score? Does this development get you excited? Do you think it'll benefit you, or does it make you even more apprehensive about approaching a lender for credit or consumer debt weapons? Go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. I'd be especially interested in hearing from those of you that have little or no credit history right now established, but you have a stellar record of keeping money in your bank account. Don't forget to like this video, guys. Drop a thumbs up if you want us to continue to share breaking news with you. Also, be sure to share this video with everybody you know, as they may very well be one of the ones that this new Ultra FICO Score affects. Go ahead and turn on that post notification bell after hitting the subscribe button and join the Cash Flower community. We'd love to have you. We're gonna have some of the most exciting content that we've ever dropped coming out the fourth quarter of 2018. So you guys definitely wanna make sure you stick around. Until we see you on the next video, make it a great day today and take care.